All right, guys, welcome back to the best podcast around, in D Money's words.
Best anime podcast, you know?
Yeah, no, just best podcast.
You're right, you know?
You know,
Why
we got,
Why limit our potential?
Don't be silly.
The Otaku Chronicles. And today we are going to talk about one of the hottest animes to drop in 2020.
It started off in 2020?
It did. It was the late 19s, early 20s.
That's valid.
Pull it up.
No, it was.
Facts, you know?
Facts.
Fact check.
It came out on Netflix in
gotta
like
be legit.
2020. It was like
It
February.
was on Crunchyroll first, but
Yeah, I know. But that Demon Slayer, that Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Sword of the Demon Cleansing Blade. Such a long real name.
Facts.
But that's wrong. That's wrong.
Demon Slayer. Well, the demon, what was it? Purification Blade.
Demon Destruction Blade.
Was it Destruction? Okay, all right. It is Destruction. True. Demon Destruction Blade. True. But such a long actual translation. Like, damn, you know.
Demon Slayer just sounds better.
It does. America gets it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
guys.
but
we our dubs
Yaiba
are dope. Dope dubs.
Come on, like the Japanese name,
Listen, the Japanese name
Kimetsu
is...
no Yaiba.
Like, I like the Japanese name, but Demon Slayer is just short, sweet, to the point, you know? It's just... It's there, like...
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I
you
slay
know,
demons.
if you want to dumb it
Okay.
down for
Yeah, I
the
get it.
Americans,
I get it now.
fine.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah,
You know?
it was a tough battle too.
You know, the attention span of America versus the attention span of Japan is different. You know, in
Yeah.
Japan, they'll sit there for like an 8-hour movie perfectly fine. In America, it's like, if I don't catch you in the first 10 seconds, you're not watching it, you know? So,
But yeah, Demon Slayer, one of the hottest, fastest grossing animes to pop off.
one of my favorite, especially with these new seasons.
It jumped up quick.
Yeah.
What were it won what animation of the year back then? Like
Yeah.
So when it was coming up, it was the fastest manga selling, and they toppled One Piece, they toppled Naruto, they toppled everything with 80. What was it? 80 billion.
dude, they took off.
80 million. It was like 80. I think it was 80 million physical copies sold.
I'm not sure.
That's a valid number, though.
It's pretty dope.
You gotta get it right.
I believe it.
Gotta
I
get
know
it right.
I know they did pop off. I mean, you got your classic arc, right? I mean, he's off. He's off on big brother. He goes off to do his job. Comes back home, you know, from a hard day's work, you know, off leaving them all behind, back to his mountain. He's of course a mountain boy, which I think is a big thing in the Asian Japanese community.
Yeah.
You have your scholars, but you have your like country bumpkins off in the
yeah.
mountains, and they're always a little tougher. They're always a little more sturdy. And his whole thing in the whole season is because he's out in the woods and he has a higher sense of smell, right?
Yeah.
He smells things better. He knows the charcoal's
He
cooked
can
right.
smell
because of how it
colors.
smells.
Yeah.
Smell colors.
The whole thing becomes like, oh, I smell demons. I smell the part I should slice best.
Yeah.
You know, he has a weird smell vision.
You know, he'd be good in Food Wars.
He would be a great like. Is there squid in this?
I smell eggs.
But yeah, no. So he's all in, right? He's coming home. He smells blood. He runs home. He finds out that a traveling demon with his cohorts show up through their little home compound, kills the whole family.
It wasn't even it was the big man himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It
saying.
wasn't even just it was just the big
demon,
yeah.
but he had his people with him, like his you know, but they're traveling with him. But who cares? Like he came to feed.
Yeah.
He killed the family, and out of all of them, his sister was like the left half alive. But because she was like killed by a demon blood.
She wasn't killed. She was
turned.
Yeah, she was just turned.
She
ended up
basically
being
did like what vampires do.
Yeah. And that's like, I think that's one of the cool things about this guy is like, as he has the ability to share his power with you, or like if he doesn't kill you completely, you know, there's a chance that you'll have some of that demon residue left in you and you become a demon.
Well, any of the upper six can do that.
But
Yes,
as you
but
learn
they
their
need
story,
permission.
every single one you learn that he kind of came by feeding and would just decide to not kill them.
Because Akaza was trying to get every person he came across that deemed worthy, that he deemed worthy. He didn't care about Muzan.
No, yes, but so technically any upper six demon can turn a human into demon, right?
They have enough demon cells to change people.
However, if Muzan found out, based off of Muzan's personality, he would have immediately killed that demon and anybody.
That's
they
also a
changed.
lie.
Exactly. No.
Yes, because Doma made the top 6 the number 6.
But he approved it.
No, he didn't.
I don't know.
Go back and read it.
I don't know.
Doma came in. He gave them the
I don't
option.
think it was taboo, but I think if they tried to like, they knew he kept them in line.
Yeah.
Because I love a good like general and his soldiers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like.
I mean,
or
I'm not saying he
generals.
didn't, but
Aizen and everybody. He had his top 10 strongest demons that he created. But like say the train arc, like he turned everybody on that train. He turned the train into a monster, and it wasn't like taboo for him to do that. It was like okay,
he didn't.
You know,
Muzan didn't do that.
No,
not Muzan. I'm saying,
He wasn't even an upper 6.
but that's what I'm saying. It wasn't
No,
taboo for him to create demons.
Technically, he was the number 1 for lower 6, trying to become upper 6.
Yeah, he's trying to prove his worth.
Yeah.
Because someone died, and he was like, I'll show you. I have what it takes. You know,
Yeah.
I'll do it. But he was turning people, right? He was turning the whole entire ship into a demon. It wasn't wrong for him to do it. But I think that
He
they
wasn't
knew.
he wasn't
'cause
even turning people.
Someone kind of like did something wrong, right? Someone stood up to him, and he immediately killed him in front of the others.
Yeah.
Well, I forget.
So wait.
Or was it?
Yeah, let's just go for season 1.
So
Okay, you're right.
okay,
You're
back to
right.
season 1.
Sorry, getting off here.
The synopsis of season 1, basically, as Reggie-sama said, the main character Tanjiro, I can't remember his last name.
say it again.
Tanjiro,
Tanjiro.
right?
Tanjiro.
He went off to, let's say, cut down trees to get wood for a fire or whatever, because the mountain
He
they live
sold
on.
charcoal.
Right, he sold charcoal because the mountain they live on is super cold and people are elderly or whatever. He wants to help out, so he goes off and does his daily duties or whatever. His family are home. He comes back, they're slaughtered. Right. He checks everybody's pulse. He finds out everybody's dead except his older sister. His older sister, however, is turned into a demon.
That's still his younger sister.
It was the oldest.
It was the oldest, but
right,
he was
the oldest
the youngest.
of the
He's
sisters,
Big Brother.
but his younger sister.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
But she was like the caregiver of them all.
Yeah.
They of course, they draw her as like this huge, like 23-year-old big sister taking care of everybody,
Facts.
even though it was his little sister. She's the oldest girl, we'll say.
Yeah. And so basically they get into a squabble, basically a fight, and Demon Slayer happens to come into the area and says, "Well, she's a demon, so I'm gonna take her life."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, that's my little sister. Like, I don't care if she's a demon or not. Like, you have to get through me first, basically."
No, he was groveling and weeping.
Bro, it don't matter.
He
He's
was
a crier. He's a
Listen, you're
crier.
allowed to
He-
cry.
he
Your-
was
your
sitting there-
family just died. You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to cry.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're not, but I'm just saying like you can't just say, well, you got to get through. No, he was begging.
Okay. And then the Demon Slayer was like, "Listen, your begging means nothing to me."
Yeah,
If-
Tell
like
me-
you got to show me.
Yeah.
Tell me you didn't have shivers though when he threw that axe, and even though he took that
Facts.
swing,
Yeah.
it was like it laid right next to his head. He was like, he would have killed me.
Facts.
Like, oh my god! And it was just a distraction to
Yeah.
get his sister out of here. But if he really wanted to, he could have killed me. Oh
Yeah.
crap! I'm gonna take this kid.
But at
out.
the same time, Gyu really wasn't trying.
Nah, I think he wasn't trying
I mean,
hard, but he
yeah.
was like, I'm about to kill this kid. Hold on to this demon girl. I'm about to kill that girl anyway. I might not kill the kid, but I'm gonna have to kill that. I'm
Yeah.
about to kill this demon.
So-
if he wanted to kill Tanjiro, he would have killed Tanjiro.
So he wasn't trying, yes, right?
Yeah.
When he first started, he was like, "Yeah, I'm about to take her life," right?
Yeah.
But Tanjiro stopped it because he didn't want to kill an innocent person, right? However, once he saw that maybe there might be something more to them, he was like, "Okay, I could go easy on him, but it can't just be I let them off. I have to see that he's actually ready to be part of these tough fights, because it's not going to be an easy walk if he's claiming that he's going to do what he wants, what he says he's going to do,
it wasn't even that. It was the fact that Nezuko was a demon and protected him.
Right. No, right. So that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So he protected Nezuko first, and then when he was unconscious, Nezuko protected him.
That's
So-
what made Gyu think,
Yeah,
well,
so he was
there's
like-
something. Yeah, there's something different.
Because first he was crying, yes, but then he was like, well, crying isn't working, so I'm going to fight. And then Nezuko, who is a demon, was like, well, you're not hurting my brother either. I mean, she didn't say that, but that's basically what it stood for. And he was like,
She said that with,
yeah, the grunts.
bro. Who would like? Come on, I want to get paid to make for fucking 3 seasons. Just make those little grunts, bro.
I mean, she talked every once in a while.
Yeah, there's some things, kid.
Yeah.
She didn't talk. She didn't talk till
No, she said one full sentence
Misa.
in a couple episodes. One full sentence.
Pull it up.
promise.
I want to see it. I want to see that. We can keep talking, but pull that up
Listen, I got
because
you.
I don't remember that.
I got you.
But
She didn't say anything
I
until
remember her doing it because he was like,
she was in the sun.
she's regaining. She's regaining. Well, yeah, that might be legit true. But she did say something. I do remember that. She said something that was weird because they were like, oh, and Zet Chan was like, ah, you know, oh, she's talking.
You got to bear with Demon Slayer if you if you watch it because Zenitsu. Oh my God.
He's dope enough, you know, but
Not in the first fucking like 10 episodes. He just makes you want to stop watching it.
he's annoying. He is. It's a lot.
I almost stopped
It's
watching
a
it because of
lot.
him.
And the people who love him, I love you guys, but you're a lot. You're the kind of annoying people too. I'll tell you. It's a lot. Man, but no, I mean, you're looking it up frantically.
Because I wanna know. I don't remember her saying anything besides in season 3.
I remember it. I don't know. But no, I mean, well, while he investigates into that, I mean, so who are some of your favorite demons?
From the season 1.
Season 1. So you got the drummer, the little drummer boy.
Man. I mean, the drummer guy was cool, but he's not my favorite. That I liked Rui,
Which one is that?
the Spider-Man,
Spider Boy.
Spider Boy.
The one that created the family?
The family.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was something else.
It was a dope fight for
It
sure.
was, it
Like,
was.
how they ended him up with the brother sister combo of Demon Arts.
That shit was fire.
That was fire.
That animation was fire too.
That was a lot. That's the one in the work actually. That and their weird mix of CGI and like
A lot of anime do that now.
Yeah, I know.
Which I mean, it's cool as long as it goes in flawlessly. You know, whatever. If it's a whole scene like that, no.
Just draw it. That's all I want from you. I would love
It's hard for people, man.
I know. It's a shame. Dying art. Season 2 of everything is always a little lacking because they put so much into the first, so much money.
I don't know. Season 2 is still good, but
I agree. Don't get me wrong. They definitely did
All
right.
right. So I can't remember the specific episodes, right? And this one, we didn't see her lips move, so I'll give you this one, right? But this is where Tanjiro and his sister get taken in by the butterfly into the butterfly mansion right after they get taken into the Demon Slayer core,
so the podcast can hear it.
right? And this is when they get their own room, and he's like, "Oh, Nezuko, this is what I have to do to turn you back into a human, whatever."
Yeah. So bad over here challenging shit. Boom.
She didn't say it. That was in her head.
Nah.
She didn't say it.
Right,
She
wait,
said
wait,
it.
That was in her head.
Heard her,
hold on.
bro.
I'll give you that one, right? However, she did her lips move in this one, and this is when they were
Spider Boy.
fighting Rui in season 1, and she was all tangled up in the mother's the spider webs or wires or whatever, and she had to use her blood demon art.
Hear that music?
You don't see her mouth. She has that on her mouth. She's not
Bro,
really
she's
saying it.
Bro,
Why
okay.
would they even?
Okay, hold on. There's
put
one
the
more.
sound out there?
There's one more.
This guy. Boom.
Oh, this is
Nezuko.
Come on.
yeah. I didn't realize this one would be, but she talked at least twice. Like she didn't have it wasn't a conversation. It would be like she would say a sentence or a word and then go back to not talking.
There's a moment later. I know what you're talking
It
about.
just
where she
depends on
took-
how you look at it.
She took the bamboo out of her mouth. She said something and looked at them and waited for an answer. And they were like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about. But
Season
she,
3.
She did say things, but still seemed cloudy and clueless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were like, oh, she's in there. He had those hints that she's still in there throughout the season. I'm 100% with my boy D right here.
It just depends on how you want to look at it.
It happened, man. It's real. She's not. You're over here like kill the demon.
No, I'm not saying that.
He kept her back because she was there, man.
My argument is that she's getting paid to basically moan.
Yes.
That's my point.
She gave us a feeling, man. She gave us an environment.
The grunts, they meant things. Every grunt was
you go to acting school for those kind of grunts,
life
man.
defining.
Like,
yeah,
you really give it her. She gave it her all, bro.
Yeah.
She earned every cent.
It's not life defining,
I'd pay
man.
her more.
You hear that grunt, you can be like, oh my god, she said something.
facts.
Get the fuck out of here.
Real, bro.
That's why when she actually did talk, you cherish those moments. Because
He was like, oh my god, my panties.
Bro.
but
know what Peking's at home doing?
facts,
Listening to Nezuko groan.
facts. Listen, watching Demon Slayer.
You never know.
But
It's okay. She's 14, right?
Unfortunately, that is the legal age in Japan.
yeah.
Oh, gross.
It's okay. It's okay for Peking to be doing that.
No. It's America.
Peking's Asian.
True.
Oh.
But season 1, I think you said what did you say your best demon was? Rui?
Yes.
What about you, Reggie-sama? What's your best demon from season 1?
Oh my gosh. Season 1 only. I'm honestly going with the drum demon that switched the house up, because it was like he used the entire area as his weapon and as his demon art. It was like a cool like luring you in, because that's a huge part of like Japanese cultures, as these demons like the lamplighter and like these things that seem normal, but they were like warning, don't go in a stranger's house because it could be this crazy demon trap where the rooms keep changing and you can't get out and they're going to eat you. But it was really where it first started to hit that like you can't just be happy about these demons dying. Like as soon as they die, like right as that swing is going, he thinks about his whole entire life and his background story and how pathetic this guy was before he turned into a demon. Like, oh, your dad crumbled your art and threw it away. He didn't care about your little songs, and then now you became a demon. And it was just, you got a little bit of everything in that whole arc. You got Zamatsu, the annoying, becoming the sleepy warrior. It'd be like pretty dope. You're like, what? Okay, all right.
I have to throw this out there because I forgot to do it. The Japanese word of the day.
Okay.
I forgot about that. I mean, I said the name in Japanese, but I don't know if that's gonna count for the word.
Yeah.
So I'll get them with some slang.
Uh-oh.
So you know how you say LOL?
Right.
Yeah.
Wadai.
Wadai?
Wadai.
Wadai.
WARAI. Wadai.
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 That's how you say LOL.
Why?
Okay.
Wadai.
That one just seems long. I mean, I know it makes sense. It just seems like, imagine mid-sentence, wadai,
Well, you're not going to say fucking LOL. We don't say LOL unless it's in text.
Listen,
Okay.
I've been in conversations where people have physically said LOL, but
Well, that's how you know they fucking text too much.
but
I've almost said it.
no,
Almost said it. Or just like when people say LMFAO. I've never heard somebody say that.
Yeah, facts. That
Well,
yeah.
there might have been a summer where you could have said that,
Facts.
Or what is it?
was
ROFL.
with the party rockers being out doing their little hamster car dances. Like I remember that. That's when like saying the text talk was cool.
That's also when life was simpler.
It was a greater time. The
Yeah,
good old days when America was great.
Life was cheap.
All right, so who's your
The
favorite
party
demon?
rockers are rocking.
Season 1, my favorite demon would probably have to be, honestly, probably Miss Tamayo. Cause 1, she was the only demon from season 1 that was able to go against Muzan so far.
Okay.
2, she was able to turn another human into a demon. Like she was the first one to do it successfully.
Yeah.
And then 3, her blood art technique, like the illusions, she's just pretty cool,
Yeah.
Like she wasn't more of like a fighter, but
Didn't she create Muzan? Like wasn't she the one who like
so
she's trying to heal him and accidentally made him?
no,
Because I thought that was
So-
the story. Yeah.
no. She was with the demon that she was with. Basically, he was dying on his deathbed, and she was like, "Oh, I can try this theory out that I have on you, and if it works, you'll be a demon.
Yeah.
But you'll live, or if you don't, like, you're just gonna die because you know your life is almost over.
Yeah.
And she tried. He was like, yeah, you know, whatever, just do it. I'll try, whatever. And on his deathbed, she tried it, and he turned into a demon.
Well, see, that's what she created.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, but it was like a medicine because he had a great illness. And then,
Yeah.
I don't think they knew that he was going to be a demon. But it was like, oh, you lived.
Basically, he had
Hey.
cancer, you know.
And he's like, oh, you can't. Yeah.
Well, it was for
Itachi AIDS.
it was for that little boy that she did that. It was
Yeah.
a different doctor that did it for Muzan.
Was it a different doctor?
Yes, it was a different one.
I feel like she was in there some because she was like one of his first confidants. I know she was like.
No, it was some older guy that did it because I think he killed him afterwards because he didn't want nobody else to be immortal.
Yeah. Which I feel like they dropped the ball on that. Like even in season 1, just to like, okay, I get that you like established the main bad guy and what he's about, but throughout the whole story, it would have been cool if they had a couple other like top tier, like top Dracula's like level demons who like I'm the English version, I'm the French version. Like I think they could have did that.
I understand it to an extent why, because it was like, well, Muzan is the demon, like the way they portrayed season 1 was like Muzan was the demon master, demon lord, right?
Mm.
There could only be one demon lord, so that's what I believe that they were going after.
Yeah.
But he had generals, right, which would be like the upper 6, lower 6,
Which I love.
and then in his eyes, he was like, the upper 6 have been here for thousands and thousands of years. Their members don't change. The lower 6, y'all have been changing every fucking month. Like, y'all are shit. So yeah, he was tired of it. He was fed up.
I don't know. I mean, Rui
was upper 6. I mean, upper
he was
3. Upper 3?
He was lower 3.
Lower 3. Right, he was lower 3.
But he was still something else. That man,
right,
for being a kid and just having like
because he was the last one. He's like the first one you got.
Yeah.
He was just dogging people.
No, so like, yes, he was, right? However,
it was just unfair that Gyu had to show up because Gyu's kind of OP.
No, well, if you really think about it, right? Those are the Hashira, right? There's 9 Hashira, right? And
No,
6.
there's 8. I mean, there's supposed to be 9, but there's 8.
Who am I missing?
Gyu's not a Hashira. They have a water Hashira, but he's not the Hashira. The last Hashira was Urodaki.
But
I don't even think he was. I don't even think he was.
He took over the spot because he would be there at the meetings.
Yeah,
but he was never officially granted the Hashira spot.
I don't know because I feel like I remember him like his whole mental turmoil was like, I don't deserve to be one.
He wasn't.
I don't deserve to be here.
You read the side story, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't a Hashira.
Maybe back then.
I might have to review it.
He's not a Hashira. I promise you.
I think when they announced him at when Tanjiro and his sister
were
like
got pulled into like
the big meeting.
Yeah.
And they're like, we should kill him now. I feel like they're like, and you already know the water.
Yeah, because they said 9 Hashira at that meeting.
The master with the Tengu mask was one before him.
Yeah, and then he retired.
But he took over his spot. Yeah.
I know. I think is it Mitsuyori? I think his name is the other water Hashira that lost his memory.
Yeah. Oh,
but
yeah. The steam.
Yeah.
Mist.
But
oh man, he's got such a good backstory.
Listen.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, and so he's the big bad demon lord, and he had his demon generals. Yes, the lower 3, Rui. Yes, he was strong, but if you really think about it, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke, they were still new. Like, they were the lowest rank. They were fresh. And they came in and basically...
There's 12 Hashira.
And they shut it down.
Yeah, so, like, I understand. Like, if he was upper 3, that wasn't happening. Tanjiro was getting parked up. Inosuke was getting parked up.
We got to back up, though. You said 9. There's 12 Hashira.
He had
at season 1, they said there's 9. So we're going off of that.
But he had like the mental thing because he so badly wanted that family.
Yeah.
And it was like dad, mom.
Yeah, he had parents issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once they got defeated, he was like shooken instead of being like, those are just puppets I made,
Facts.
But just having those in general was pretty dope.
Yeah, no, he was a strong demon, I will say that, but I can see why Muzan was like, listen, you guys are pathetic because like you basically got brand new rookies off the street that just became Demon Slayers last month, washing the floor with you. Like,
even like someone like yourself who's watched it multiple times.
yeah, like
it's just like, okay, he just got determined and then cut his head off.
Yeah, like
there wasn't a whole epic thing because later on,
Facts.
I mean, there's different ways, so it's not that easy, you know.
yeah,
But for him, it was. Yeah, he
Yeah,
just
like-
had to really smell it.
and then when he actually fought the upper rank demons, those fights were not that easy.
Cutting their head off didn't matter anymore. Like,
Facts.
oh, so what? You know,
Yeah, like-
I could turn to 30 other me's, you know.
Like those fights was like life and death. Like he had to really pull out all the stops, otherwise he was not making it back home.
Completely destroyed
Yeah.
them.
So I understand why Muzan was like, listen, you guys are useless. And then on top of that, it's not to say like, okay, you know, you guys can't pass the upper six, but you've at least been alive for thousands of years. You guys keep dying off and I keep having to replace you. So like, what's the point of me having a lower six, you know?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so yeah, I understand.
Pour more power in my tops.
Yeah, like y'all are just causing me extra stress when I want the entire Demon Slayer society to eradicate, and you know you guys aren't fulfilling those missions. So
Okay. Then after all that, you get the movie.
yep, we get the movie.
You
The
get Rengoku
the-
the Great.
Rengoku the man. Yeah, Rengoku. He was I've never seen a Hashira thus far up until that arc stand on more business.
Oh my god.
Because he didn't care if you could have been a low tier demon, a mid tier demon, upper six, like it didn't matter.
Yeah.
He wanted smoke.
Springtime youth.
I just hate how
He
you
was
guys
coming with all of it.
just throwing this on the back burner. This just got to be right. Giyu is not a Hashira.
Okay,
Bro.
did they is that confirmed?
Yes, he is strong enough to pass. He just doesn't want the spot because he doesn't think he's worthy. So therefore,
I do-
technically is not a Hashira.
Yeah, maybe
he can
that,
be,
That feels familiar.
but-
Hold on.
Listen,
the current unresided Wada Hashira was Earl Kodaki.
you see, that makes sense. I just remember when they first brought Tanjiro and his sister over to the Demon Core, the Demon Slayer Core, like the headquarters or base or whatever you want to call it. When they first introduced that, like they were having the meeting, they introduced him as a Hashira, which is why I said
Which
nine Hashira.
I could see why
Yeah.
you would think that, but later, I'm pretty sure it's in the side story that he confirms that he did not take the Hashira spot because he doesn't think he's worthy of it.
That's valid.
So he is not a Hashira.
I do feel like that is legit. I
Listen.
do feel that,
I overstand.
but I have to look. I don't. We'll see. I do hear you. Okay. However, either way, he's a Hashira. He just doesn't want the title. He won't put on the belt. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Get over it. He is one. You are one.
Facts.
You're here at the meetings. He's not shunned from it. He still shows up to the meetings.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm here. You know, don't leave me. Don't talk without me. I'm looking here. So here we got Rengoku introducing himself. Okay, let's see.
You watching where they
Take
introduce
it.
all of them?
Tangen, huh?
Where they introduce all of them?
Of course. We got the Love Hashira, Mitsuri,
Mitsuri.
Kanroji. Please be my wife. Eat all you want. Stone Hashira,
You ain't strong enough to protect her.
Guillaume Hajima. Oh, what a sad
Can't
story.
Wait to see Guillaume.
What a sad story that keeps him crying.
Facts.
All right, Mitsi Haraga, Hashiri. Little Snaky boy,
They all have such sad stories.
loving the love, Hashira. What a sad story. Poor boy. Serpent Hashira, Ijiro, Obani. Essentially, they all want to kill him. They all want him dead because he has a demon with him. Right there, Water Hashira, Giro, Toboka.
I don't
He's
care
the Water
how.
Hashira, bro.
he's
It
not.
announced him.
He-
It announced him. It
but
was
he's
his
not.
name as the
But
Water
he's not.
Hashira, bro. I'm sorry.
But he is not though.
I'm sorry.
Go back and read it.
I'm sorry.
Listen,
I
go back and read
I
it.
do know where he's like, I didn't actually accept it. I'm not actually one, but
Listen, if it
he's
walks like a
there
duck and
at
talks
the
like a duck
meeting.
and it
It's a
quacks
chicken.
like a duck,
They introduced
chicken.
him.
it's a duck.
It's a chicken.
You know.
They introduced him, buddy. Right
It was just
there.
that one-off egg. The chicken.
He's that guy. I'm sorry.
It's a turducken.
But you know.
Y'all can think what you want. He said he's
You
not
can
the
think what you
Hashira.
want.
He's not the
In
Hashira.
season 1, he's introduced as a Hashira.
He could be
know.
introduced, but
You'll
he's not.
find out much more later. But hey, you know, he is dope. He's dope. Good big brother for Tanjiro.
Huh?
You know,
Best fight scene, season
Best
1.
fight scene.
Tanjiro versus Rui.
Okay. That fight specifically, or
Yes, just
or-
because the way he goes from using his water training that he's been honing for the last few months and switches it to fire.
the animation was also very beautiful to watch.
And the water dragon that was following him just shot in flames, and then it just like blew everything out. It just blew everything out.
Okay.
Okay.
What
The
about you?
animation was just
No, it was. It
need
was
more.
Chef's kiss.
What about
It
you?
was
Reggie?
more than a chef's kiss. They put something else on there.
That crack.
So, season 1, I just off the top of my head, I'm going Zenin. Zenin in the house where the first time he falls asleep.
Zenitsu?
Yep.
Yep.
First time he falls asleep, just because you get that excitement of like, oh, this guy's actually a pretty dope character, you know, and he just immediately he's getting overwhelmed. And it's the first time these like junior freshman year Demon Slayer kids are like getting some pressure put on him, and he just like he gets serious. He does his lightning breathing, and it's lightning speed. It does its thing, and it's just dope to see him like switch it up
From crying
yeah.
all the time.
Oh my god, for being the worst part of the show to being like that was pretty dope. Like I hated how they made me like him, and I really noticed that in the show. Like, dude, like okay, all right, you know, this is a good show. How they played me. They backed me in that corner to really be impressed by this moment because of all the hate I had for him. But I was pretty dope. I mean, there's a lot of really good stuff in there, but I really like that. It gave me tingles. Tingles.
Another good one, man, was whenever he fought that hand demon in the trials. The one that killed Sabito and Mokumo.
Oh, you talking about in the mountain, Tanjiro, when Tanjiro killed the handyman.
Yes. That was a good one.
I remember that something killed his junior classman because the ghost.
It was.
I can't think of the demon. I can't.
It was the
No,
one that had
it
the
was-
hands all around him.
Yeah, he was like super fat, shaped like a giant like.
And every time he'd see the mask, he'd go for those people because they were Urukadaki's students.
Yeah, he was like a deflated marshmallow kind of looking. He was green, and
Brownish.
he literally shoot hands at you to basically grab you,
Okay.
and like he ripped the.
You don't remember that?
He ripped the arms
It's
and
been
legs
so
off
long.
of her.
I was so more concerned with.
It was after
So many other parts of it.
he cut the rock, found out.
I remember.
And
I
then-
remember there being this like main like this is
Yeah,
the
because he had so
stepson
like
to
you didn't see
overcome
you didn't see the
demon.
dude's mouth. It was like mainly his eyes and his head, and he had a hand around his mouth, like
I
kind of like
remember
that.
that.
Then he just had arms like wrapped around his whole body, and then Tanjiro jumped in the air, and all these hands shot out the ground and started trying like to grab him and shit.
I remember the epic finish, dude. I'm sorry. I can't see it. It's been a while. It's been a
It's
while
alright.
since
That's
season
fair.
1 for me.
What's your favorite?
Whew. Out of all of the five,
Well, season 1.
honestly, it's probably. I really enjoyed when Muzan. When they gave you a little more information about the 12 Kizuki, basically the upper 6 and the lower 6, and it was after Ryu died, and he called
After Rui died.
all the lower 6 to like I guess like the demon realm or whatever.
So towards the end of
This
the
little
season,
Yeah.
shifty
And
mansion.
like he was like, listen, you guys are
they started killing all of them.
cannon fodder, and just basically just starts murking all of them. And then one was like, well, I'm gonna die anyway, so I might as well just run. And it literally didn't amount to anything
And they just ended up right back where they
Yeah.
jumped off from.
as a head. So yeah, he flexed his power a little bit, like
All right.
you know.
So I feel like
That was very dope.
we should do the movie, go into season 2 and 3, and then pick a fight then.
Okay.
Make it a little more challenging.
Of the train?
Of
Or you
all
saying
of it.
Okay. Because there weren't many fights in the train. There's like one real fight.
Yeah. The train arc. Did you watch the broke down episode version?
Both. I went to see the movie first. Saw
But
the
but did
movie.
you see the episode version?
I did. Yeah.
Because they added that first episode that wasn't part of the
A
movie,
little extra, which
was cool.
they do have in the manga. It's interesting because the manga has 3 side stories, and 2 are all about Rengoku, and it's like a pre-Hashira, what made him choose to be a Hashira, and then one when he was already a Hashira and he took the love girl under his wing, and like basically called her in.
Yeah, I think they put both of those in the one.
Well,
The flame, the stories of the flame and water.
they put like a hint to it in there. Yeah, I
Okay,
they're gonna
I
do a
have that
movie of
one.
it, though. I heard they're gonna do like that's the newest movie that's supposed to come out for Demon Slayer. Is they're gonna put that and then a pinch of like the training arc to really push it into the final fight. But again, Mugen Train, man, I mean, dope concept.
So
Everybody
they
falls
have
into a genjutsu, right?
they have the actual
Facts.
Demon Slayer. They have the novels.
Yeah.
They have the stories of the flame and water, the water and
Okay.
flame.
Yeah.
They have.
Water and Flame. Him and
They
the,
just
him and
added-
the water Hashira.
There's a new one. I wouldn't even really say it's too new, but it's the Corpse Records.
Yeah, and those ones, the 2 is so one is Rengoku, and there's a upper or lower moon who has like guns. It's pretty dope.
Oh no, I think it's upper.
Is
I
he an
think-
upper?
I think he's. I
I know he
was
has
upper.
guns and wolves, and then like it just like is the whole fight of Rengoku losing teammates and him like freaking out about death. This is one of
Oh,
the
that's
side
when
stories.
that's when he
Oh,
became a
that's
Hashira.
side
Yeah,
story.
That's when he had to
him,
fight
that's
to
him
become- yeah.
becoming a Hashira.
That was in the stories of the water and the
And he
flame.
gets the mentality of I need to protect everyone on my team at all times. I'm the guy. And then the other one was him,
Because that's when he had
And the
Mitsuri
girl.
with him. He had Mitsuri with him.
the love Hashira.
Yeah.
Then that's the second one. Then that's the one where he was already a Hashira and he brought her in to be in one. She was underneath him like his senpai.
I don't even think he was really a Hashira at that point because I got the manga downstairs.
He might not have been because he was
that was the first one. Like she watched him,
he
but that
the-
was his
the
test.
leader of his dad's like.
That was his
style,
test to
yeah.
see if he was going to be strong enough to be a Hashira.
Okay, yeah. I feel
So-
like that's the second one. I know there's 2 that really focus around him, and then there's that third one that. What is that?
I mean, in that one, they might have put them both together, but regardless.
Okay.
But
good.
that movie, that Mugen Train arc,
oh my,
that shit,
oh my,
Listen,
umai, it's umai,
oh my,
umai. You know what that means?
delicious. Great.
You know what it means in traditional terms?
What is it traditionally?
So, you know how to say delicious normally in Japanese, right? Or like
No. What is
So-
it's delicious?
sugoi.
I would say
Sugoi?
It starts with the S like sugoi. Or hello, sumai.
They-
Okay.
Because I did some research on this one.
Okay.
Traditional samurais said umai because they didn't know when that was going to be their last meal.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of hinted like every bite he took umai.
You love it. Give it your all.
But that's kind of like hinting that he's gonna die.
he was screaming tasty.
Yeah.
It translated on
Yeah.
the show
Yeah.
delicious, but that's what they say. That's what the samurais would say traditionally for their last meal.
Mm-hmm.
So that like if you know the history, you look at that, you're like, oh yeah, he's gonna die.
And there's the practice of that too of omai where you actually they would have makeup and they'd like pretty up their head because if they were killed and then you took their head and turned them in, they wanted to look good. You know what I mean? They'd like burn incense in their helmets so that they would smell good even after decapitated. It's pretty dope. It's pretty,
That's
pretty
interesting.
legit. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but just the fact that that's when you meet the upper 3 demon towards the end of that. Like
Yeah.
you watch him fight Enmu, which I like Enmu. He had potential. He really did. He was a smart demon. But when that man Akaza showed up, oh, bro, did you want Rengoku to turn into a demon?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I honestly thought that's where they were going. Like I said, I feel like as soon as he was like egging him on, like, do it, like, what's the point? I was just like you. I felt like that's what he was gonna kind of be taken away, and they were gonna make him into a demon that they had to fight. And I was like, oh, that's tough. That's horrible. As soon as he was like, yeah, I'll take you in. I accept you 100%. I'm with you, and I'm a badass. You guys go play with the main boss. I'll kill everything else. Like, what a man. But no, it didn't happen, and it broke my heart. But I was also kind of happy for him. Like, well, good.
So
Thanks.
the way I looked at it was because I didn't start reading it until after the Mugen Train arc. When I
Okay.
finished reading it,
Okay. No,
I
I'm
thought-
same for me.
I thought that he was gonna kill Akaza and he was gonna take his place
Oh, okay.
by turning into a demon. Still,
I thought he'd be brought back as a gift. Like, look, I got a Hashira for you. And it's like, ooh, I'll turn a Hashira into a monster.
yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like Rengoku would have a fun time with the top number one.
That could be sweet. Yeah, right. Like, see that fight happen. That would be sweet.
That'd have
right?
been something else.
Or see the two of them have like a duo combo with his sister doing her.
Oh,
blood,
dude, they'd have been
blood.
unstoppable.
That'd have been a cool little, like, they should did a movie like that or something. I don't know. Before he had to die.
Now going into season 2, there was a bunch of women, and
The red light district.
yeah,
Red light arc. Red light
Is that-
district arc.
the 3 main men were dressed up like females the whole time, except for Inosuke was dressed up, but he didn't have to wear
He
makeup.
was just already beautiful. He's
Yeah.
a beautiful boy.
They really played that in today's
His
society.
voice is so funny. You're so pretty. Thank you.
What was the funniest part in the district light arc?
Gosh, man.
Funniest part to you?
Yikes. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to say, like, Zenosuke, being weird, being a girl, being ugly. Them all thinking he's just hideous and ugly. That's pretty funny. That's a pretty funny moment.
I think it's whenever Tanjiro first got dressed up,
Okay.
because that man's just so fucking ugly.
Facts.
Yeah, that too.
Listen, it played so well because Inosuke already looked like a girl.
Yeah.
So it was just, oh, you're so pretty. Just don't talk because you sound like what do you say? You sound like a drunk sailor or some shit like that.
He basically was.
Yeah.
What do you think the funniest part was?
Honestly, all the parts with Inosuke. Inosuke himself was just super funny. Like, I remember it had one point where the crow came to give them a mission, and he was like, "Can we eat this?" and grabbed it, and grabbed it by
Like,
his
still
tail.
doesn't get it at all. Yeah. He is just hilarious.
Inosuke's just
Comic relief.
yeah, like he's just. I mean, I understand because they say like he's raised by beast or whatever, so like he's like unknowledgeable of just like regular life things,
Yeah.
but it's just so funny,
Mountain
So,
boy.
all right.
Yeah, and it's funny because Tanjiro, who grew up in the mountains, knew more than
But
so-
like at the same time, he's able to relate with him the most. He gets him. And
Facts.
So are we gonna are we covering the whole manga? Or are we just covering
should, why
the?
not? Yeah, do it.
Yeah,
We could speak lightly because I mean obviously people they don't read and they're waiting. You got
ill-cultured people.
Yeah, and so I don't want to ruin it all. I'm not gonna the time jump that happens.
Everybody
right?
dies.
We could say that, but like there's a lot of death. God, it's a sad.
Everybody
sad-
dies.
It doesn't even make sense. You just hear everyone's story and then you get sad about it.
So all right. So we talked about.
I wouldn't say
We didn't go into
I wouldn't say
detail.
who dies? I just
No.
there are deaths.
Yeah, we didn't go into detail on the fight for Akaza. We're not gonna go into the fight on season 2 either, because I want to go back to it.
I think we could speak on.
We will, but I just want to go back to it. I'm trying to lead it up to something. So in season 2, they fought the upper 6, which was 2 demons,
Mhm.
and they were brother and sister. And you couldn't kill them unless they both were decapitated at the same time,
Yeah.
which was
They
really hard.
They shared the spot because they each had one eye, did they?
No, he would give her the eye when she needed it, but it was just like their bond was so
They were
strong.
weird. Yeah, they shared the spot essentially.
And their fight was pretty fucking good too.
Yeah, and
But
you know, of course,
we can come back to it. Now we're gonna go to season 3.
okay.
D Money, tell us about season 3.
That's too easy. Season 3 starts off with season 3 is after the entertainment district, right? It was the movie. Season 1,
the Swordsmith
the
Village.
arc, entertainment district,
Yeah.
right? So Tanjiro obviously breaks his sword again. You know, he's waiting for his sword, so he ventures off. No, actually, he gets not carried, but like he's not allowed
He
to
does
know,
get carried.
He's
he
not
has
allowed to know
he
the
has
location.
plugs
basically.
in his nose that covers
Yeah.
his eyes,
Yeah, like it's basically the village has to remain hidden.
and
for
they move it
safety.
every what, so like 3 months or something like that.
Yeah, for safety purposes, so that way like the demons can't find out the location of like their demon sword base, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Sword blacksmith nomads.
yeah, blacksmith nomads, right? And Tanjiro basically gets carried away. No, as B-rad said, nose plugs, blindfold, earmuffs, like the whole nine
We
yards.
don't have to give all the details. I didn't
Yeah.
even give details
He-
too. I just
He's not allowed to walk like
try to lead it
like
up to the
carried,
fight.
right?
But it's dope, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
it's, like
and then
it's a big deal. Like,
He gets carried there. When he finally gets there, it's like a whole village of just people that dedicated to making swords for the demon slayers. That's their whole purpose of life. Like there's nothing else going on in this village besides that purpose.
that's the craft.
So he basically, he's just chilling, like he's like on a mini vacation kind of thing, waiting for his sword to be repaired or fixed or whatever.
You can't skip the part where he sees Mitsu basically naked.
No, yeah.
Who wouldn't love that? Come on.
So
I love Hashira.
basically, the
What are you
love
gonna- What are
Hashira,
you gonna do?
was also there. I believe she was also waiting for her sword to get fixed or repaired.
Bazinga.
And
And then there was also
it was just 2 of them.
no. I mean, at first, yeah, but I'm talking about the other guy that came.
That's later on.
I'm trying to lead it up because we still gotta go back and talk about fights.
That's valid. Right. And then so they meet each other, whatever. She introduced herself. He introduces himself, whatever. Continuing on,
You also meet the one Hashira. Wake up, Reggie. This guy
I
over here
know,
dying.
I'm linked in.
But
the
you also meet the one white-haired Hashira's little brother.
white hair.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
yeah.
Because he's got the gun, and he has.
Yes.
And I like how they switched up a little bit because it's like he's a demon slayer, but he's using a different means. There's always that character that uses a different means than the.
He
status
wasn't using
quo.
the sword. He was using guns.
He's not using a breathing style. He's eating demons and like absorbing a little demon power for a second.
Yeah.
And he had a gun. I think that was cool too. Like he had like a technique of wounding them, but he actually could fight.
His bullets
on
were
par with
basically made out of the same ores.
them. Yeah.
that-
Right. Yeah. So he's just popping them full of
But-
holes. But he was dope. I liked him.
So to make the long story short, I can't even talk. Long
story short.
Yeah, a long story short.
To summarize.
Yeah. They have 2 demons that come there, and they fight 2 demons. So let's backtrack it to the Mugen Train arc
Mm-hmm.
up till season 3.
Okay.
Out of those 3 major fights, 4 technically,
Okay.
what was the best one and why?
Oh, dude. For me, it was the emotion demon that showed up at the Swordsmith Village.
He was 4?
The fear.
I think he was 4.
anger. Yeah. My favorite, by far, my favorite. Once I read it, I was absolutely pumped to watch it, and when I watched it,
They portrayed it really well.
It was long. It was a long fight, but it was good because he fought like it was one guy.
Kept running.
It was like the evolution of these demons. So like before you cut their head off, you win. You know that's the rule of demons. Then it was like, oh well, now they're twins and you have to cut their heads off at the same time, or now you know, with this demon, it was like you had to cut its head off in its main body, but it could like make these other pseudo bodies, and then like all these emotions it went through, it poured its power into. So it had like you were being attacked by, you getting jumped by like 3 or 4 at a time. And they were like crazy strong. It was resentment, ego, you know, anger, and they were just so dope. It was such a like just, and they just devastated them. Like in the entire show, it's them kind of like doing that step forward of, oh, I get my power, oh, I know what I need to do, oh, okay, I'm strong. Like, but then when they showed up, like Tanjiro was getting wrecked, the white-haired brother with the gun wrecked. Everyone just got like
he didn't have white hair. His brother had white hair. He had like the black ponytail, like shaved side shit,
the mohawk thing.
Yeah,
weird mohawk mullet. Yeah, my bad.
His backstory was also so sad.
Crazy.
Yeah, all their siblings. Yeah.
What about you?
But you know
D-Money?
what? That demon, I feel like, what was its backstory? I don't remember
the fear.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. They
always
did
did
go
that
in. They
sad
did go
story.
into it.
Maybe there was one. But
They did. I just forget what it was.
It wasn't that big a deal. It was just like something like, oh, you suck.
Because
killed.
I'm pretty sure they showed it before
He did do something greasy. And I think
before
his master
Tanjiro
him.
killed that final one, headless one, chasing
Yeah.
after the people.
the little baby body running away.
So
But it was just, for me, good fight.
it was a good one.
Good
It
one.
was. What about you, D-Money? There was technically 4 fights.
Easily, I think his name was Mitsuri, the Mist Hashira.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name, Mitsuri? No, that Mitsuri is it was I think it started with a T.
Oh, it's Muchiro Tokito.
Tokido.
Tokido.
Yeah, Tokido. Like, yeah,
So
like,
so him versus the vase demon.
yeah, like the demon itself. I would have rather him fight the demon that Tanjiro was fighting, that splits into all like the different emotions and stuff like that.
Yeah, but at the same time, he was still getting his ass beat by that demon.
I mean, yes,
He only survived because of that little kid.
So you got to think about it, right? He lost his memory, right? So like, he was basically memoryless and on cloud 9 at the same time. So it was like a weird.
It was like a crutch.
Yeah.
Almost. Like he didn't know.
And he started getting his memories back.
Who
Yeah.
he
In the
was
fight.
to be as strong as he needed to be. He was
Yeah.
just already that strong.
Yeah.
You know, I do like that.
But when he did regain his memories, you know, he was able to like.
Get some emotion back.
Yeah.
Well,
More-
it's still like
more power. It was dope.
as strong as he was, he still wouldn't. He would have still died if
I
it wasn't
think-
for that little kid.
I think part of his power too, though, was his like how much his resilience and how durable he was to be hit so many times and not die. Like it was like a weird.
Yeah,
thing
he
just
had that
has.
durability, but
And so they kind of show that off by letting him get beat up, but it wasn't that big a deal to him because he didn't have the emotion to
Yeah,
even care
like,
about
yeah.
the hurt.
yeah,
so he could
but
be hurt so much, and then he he got pushed to the point where he had to get serious, and then he got serious.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he still almost
He
died.
could have died.
Like anybody runs out of breath. He got trapped in water. He almost ran out of breath, and the only reason he lived was because that little boy
Yeah.
gave him the air that he had.
I mean,
If it wasn't for that, Tokito would have died.
the power
Listen,
of friendship
the
jutsu.
Facts, the power of friendship. Look how much anime you've seen that, you know, that's the whole premise.
Fairy tale.
Listen.
As a samurai, he was charming enough to pull on a kid that was letting
So
him some
that's your
air.
favorite. That's your favorite fight scene out of those 4.
Listen, honestly, yeah, like I really enjoyed it. I like him getting his memories back. Like I liked he.
You didn't like with Reggie.
No, I really enjoyed that fight.
He
But-
didn't even mention fucking Mitsuri fighting him.
True.
I had to.
I mean, when she came in,
She was putting some work in.
She was.
Wasn't working.
But Tanjiro and the younger brother of the Hashira, they were when they were tag teaming that demon. First of all, when he stabbed Nezuko through her chest, I was like, okay, this might be it.
Yeah.
This might be it. Yeah.
And even that, just I think about how like that was just one entity. And
Facts.
He split himself into multiple pieces. One killed Nezuko. One did have the love Hashira pinned down and was like, she was like, I survived somehow. She was
Yeah.
about to get killed. She just kind of pulled that piece off so they could figure out what to do.
But
with the
at
other
the same
pieces.
time, that was the anger one. He was the strongest
But
one.
he was like that.
And-
If he died,
No, I don't think the anger one's the strongest one.
He was.
there was a lot of power
There
poured
was
into him.
one that was calm, like just super calm.
Yeah,
I think he was the strongest one.
yeah, acceptance or something weird.
No,
like
Yeah.
that.
I'm pretty sure it was because the
The
anger
one-
one was the one that had like all the fucking dragon wood things.
Anger had the lightning halo around him, the Raijin, but
He was the young
and he
looking
had
one.
the dragons, right?
And he was
like
fucking everybody up.
But and she pulled him off, but she wasn't gonna kill him. Plus, he pulled out one more after that because at the last minute when he went to hit it, it turned into something big, and that was the last piece he pushed out of himself. Like, you know, and that's what Dimani's talking.
I'm pretty
about.
sure that, but I
But he
thought that
still
was
killed it. He killed it real quick and then killed the little body. But it, I don't know. I think I get what you're saying.
Oh well, regardless.
Regardless, yeah,
So-
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Man, so for mine, it's a real tough one because I really, really fucking loved watching Rengoku versus Akaza. That shit was fantastic.
They didn't give him enough for me.
They
He
didn't,
was
but it was
so-
still fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they made the fights in the Swordsmith Village, they could have. If he was gonna die, God, you could have given me a little bit more, 5 more minutes.
But I'm not
of
saying
him.
that's my favorite. I'm just saying it's hard because I really like that one.
No, of course.
So-
And like even I think I'm just upset at the way it ends. It was a great fight.
But I would have to say just the Giyu or not Giyu, the Gyutaro,
Mm-hmm.
the brother,
Yeah, Gyutaro.
Okay.
and what was the girl's name? The demon.
Oh,
I have her downstairs. I can't remember her
Daki?
name. Yes,
Was it
Daki. Daki. Gyutaro and Daki versus Uzui and, the 3 main characters. Because the animation for that was just fucking point on. The way that Gyutaro destroyed basically the whole fucking city and then walked up to Tanjiro, grabbed his fingers and just snapped it. I'm like, ugh, that shit made me cringe. I've never watched an anime that made me cringe like that.
I do love the darkness in that. I love a good menacing bad guy moment,
And that shit was great.
Doesn't
But
matter.
even whenever he distracted him and out of nowhere, like the way the episode ended, it's kind of a spoiler.
No, that's fine. You could say it.
Just you see Zenitsu chasing. You see Zenitsu chasing Tanjiro as he's falling off the roof, and Tanjiro looks over and he sees Uzui laying on the ground, basically dead. His hand's gone, and the building's just getting destroyed. Like everything's lost, everything. And
Okay.
whenever you see Tanjiro about to die, with that sickle going right to his eye, and Uzui just pops up out of nowhere, shit was fucking perfect.
It was.
That shit was perfect.
How could you not like Izui? What a dope fight, though.
That shit was
It
on
really
point.
was.
And then, not even just that, just like how like, what was it? Because they had 12 or 13 episodes.
Oh, I don't remember.
It was off. I know it was off, season because the last episode was the backstories of the demons. But the episode before that, he literally blows up the whole fucking town, and it ends just like that. And it's like, bro, like if you don't know what the fuck's happening, you just like. You're like, I don't want to fucking watch this anymore. I'm done. Like, get the fuck out. I'm not watching this shit no more.
No, listen. It was like, honestly, that part also gave me chills. Not that part. Like, so.
It was just perfect how they did it because whenever it blew
right.
up, it just rolled right into the
No.
credits.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I meant
Yeah,
when
they
you
made
know
it,
when
like, such a
Uzui
big
first
part
came
of it.
up and Tanjiro was trying to hold Nezuko back while the
Oh, that shit was fire too.
upper 6 was
Bruh.
basically just talking shit.
That
And-
shit was fucking. She was beating the brakes off of Daki.
Right. No, but when he was like, oh, she was like, I'm an upper 6, I'm gonna kill you. You're a Hashira. You know, you're my arch nemesis. Whatever's the case. And he was like, what are you talking about? You're already dead. And she's like, huh? And then her head literally just falls into her hands.
She starts crying.
You're already dead.
Onita!
Oh my god! What a moment.
Yeah. Like,
No, bro. Out of all those, I think the coldest moment was when fucking Nezuko transformed into a full demon and started beating the fucking shit out of Daki. Just like, just destroying her.
That. I'm just weirded out by Nezuko. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it really challenges me. Like, why did she have to be a baby and then a sexy?
It's anime, guy. It's just fucking anime.
Don't do that to me.
She has to be a baby to fit in a box.
Don't make me question my likes and things. You know,
you can't have that opinion because it's anime. Anime just does that shit.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
They just do that shit.
She can't fit in a box as a grown woman. So like, you know, she has to be a baby.
She has to shrink.
And then like to fight people, she can't fight as a baby. So you know,
I do like it though. I do like I like any transformation. You give me any transformation.
It's like Naruto's sexy jutsu, you know.
Man,
it's
a thing. All the
baby,
what's happening?
Then,
whoa!
I can't even front. Like all the fights in Demon Slayer are good. All of them.
Facts.
All of them.
Even with that demon that kept going under the ground, and Nezuko just came out and just Spartan kicked that man.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
That was dope. And I like how they do the mixes. You know, the mixes and powers.
Yeah, facts.
It's just good.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's legit.
All right, so favorite character. We gotta kind of wrap this up.
Season between
just all of them. Favorite character. Favorite character. Favorite demon out of all. Favorite Hashira or good character.
And do the whole series, because for me demon. Of course you want to do the Moon Brother, but I'm going. I'm not sure if he's number 3 or 2, but the one that was like the cult leader.
Doma.
No.
Oh, I think he was number 1.
He was 2.
He was 2.
He was 2.
Doma.
He's the one that.
That's the one with the white hair.
No.
He had like the drops.
Yes, he had the pretty eyes.
Yeah, beautiful eyes, and because of his eyes, they worshipped him like a cult.
Yeah.
He was in a cult before turning into a demon.
Yeah,
and he just had like the menacing, like he just kept winning, and he wanted him to die. Like I read his whole fight; it was so long, and I just wanted him to die so bad. And he still
That's your favorite demon.
But in the end, you know, like she jumped in him and poisoned him. I mean, obviously,
who's your favorite good character?
Favorite, like Demon Slayer, we'll say. Oh, man, that's tough. That's so tough. I'm gonna say the founder, the Moon Hashira's brother. Truly, like the one who originated the breathing techniques.
you talking about the Tanjiro's grandfather?
Yeah, but like, were they related, or he just?
I think that
was synchronized with him, because they made it kind of seem.
No,
like,
I think that's actually his grandfather.
Because his
I
dad
thought it was his uncle.
No, because they
too.
said the mark, the grandfather had it, and they said the father had it, but the father, his body was weak, so he couldn't
he could do flame breathing.
I know he was
sun
related
breathing.
to him, but I thought it was like his uncle or
He could
something.
do sun
No,
breathing,
I
but I think
believe
it was
I
just
think
their
it was his
tribe,
grandfather.
though. I think just they're like they were from his, like he was a progenitor for them.
I think
Because if you go back and like actually look at it, it shows
I mean, I like
he was technically a stranger that he asked to watch his son.
Because I remember thinking to myself that he was
And that
like
was
a
one of the
relative,
brothers.
and then he wasn't as much of a relative as I was expecting. But like I think just like that whole concept of him, like when they're bouncing off everyone else's story to him, and like, okay, this is where they're put in as much of a corner as he was in, and how he, you know, they're just like Tanjiro is always just looking to find out his story and his way of like slaying demons. And as Tanjiro kind of aligns himself with that, he becomes like the one throughout the series. But like when you learn this guy's story, it's pretty dope. Him versus brother, him versus the world, and he almost ends it all himself. He just kind of falls short in the last moment. But I don't know. You know, I try to throw an oddball there instead of just going full on, easy. Because I like the one ninja guy who has 3 wives. I mean,
Uzui,
Yeah, Uzi.
what,
Yeah.
Tengen.
what a man.
Yeah,
It
facts.
just sucks that he retires afterwards. He's like, okay, I'm done. I
Nah.
almost died. I'm over it.
I mean, that's valid. He did lose an arm technically.
Flashy.
He lost his hand
There's
and
no
an
going
eye.
back, yeah.
I like that.
What
Yeah.
about you? Favorite demon and Demon Slayer?
Favorite Demon Slayer, I would have to go. That's hard as fuck.
Umai.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Rengoku.
Umai.
Yes.
It's between Rengoku and close second Tanjiro. Not because Tanjiro's strong like Rengoku, but like for example, after the train arc when Rengoku died, Tanjiro he didn't care about anything. He was like, "Listen, get back here. Stop being a coward. We fight you in the dark all the time. How about fighting me in the light? Let's really see who's about it. Yeah. So Rengoku's first because Rengoku was that guy, and even though he lost to the upper three, he protected everybody on that train. Not one single person lost their life.
Mission success. 'Cause
Yeah.
That was the. That
All right, what
was
about
his
your demon?
His whole rundown.
Demon, honestly, so at first it was the drum demon, and after the drum demon, when they introduced Gyotaro, I think that's his name, Daki's brother, basically the upper six,
Gyotaro?
Gyotaro. He became the favorite because, like,
He was just that guy.
yeah, he was a menace. Like,
If it wasn't for his sister, he probably would have been a higher demon.
yeah, easily.
But it was dope because you couldn't just kill him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
You know what I mean?
cool.
He could hide her and still and always live. So I did like that. That's what it was like. Oh my God! It's not just you can't just decapitate him. There's so much more timing and effort that needs to be put
Facts.
into this. Like it's as hard as
And
I
then
think it is.
they go hand in hand with protecting each other. So it's like, even if you get the upper hand on one, the other one, unless like you time it perfectly,
There's nothing you can do. Yeah.
But one thing I realized, very rarely, like they never put they would never send 2 Hashiras out on a mission, which I understand. But like if they sent 2 like for example Rengoku, if there was another Hashira there, Rengoku probably wouldn't have
They
died.
would've
But
had-
at the same time, you can say the
Yeah,
same thing
yeah.
about the demons with Muzan. If Muzan
But up
sent all of
until
them up
then-
to gangbang one of them, he could have easily got rid
No,
of all
but
of them.
up until then, the Hashira were like the elite, though, and it wasn't until like this part of the story is where those upper moons who were made to destroy Hashira are coming into play. You know what I mean? And I think so. You have that. You have Rengoku just like, well, I'll protect the kids, and then it's like, maybe send the Mist and the Love Hashira over there to the Swordsman Village and just check on them, see how they're doing. Oh, well, now there's 2 demons,
Yeah.
And then from there it was like, okay, let's have them learn how to be Hashira and train under the Hashira, and we keep them with everybody's together, and then they all storm everybody together, and you know what I mean? I feel like it kind of just he tries to have these countermeasures, and then it's like a game of chess almost with your characters. I don't know.
That's
All right,
facts.
so-
That's valid.
So for mine, I'd say my favorite demon, that man Akaza.
Okay.
That man, not animated yet, but that man is something else. Like, this man was headless and still beating the fuck out of Tanjiro and Giyu at the same time. And it's just like, bro, like y'all are that weak.
I'm glad they did that though. That you said that because that was another moment where it was like it doesn't matter about the neck. Like that's not
He had that willpower, man. He did not want to give up.
absolutely destroy every
Facts.
bit of him,
Facts.
And he's a fighter, and he's a swordsman.
Yes.
What are you gonna do,
And then for my Demon Slayer, man, that's a real rough one. I mean, I like Uzui, but
It comes down to personality at that point because they all, I feel like, are at a certain level of strength. But then, whose Nindo way do you really clink with?
I really, man, I liked Makomo.
What did Makomo do?
That's not.
She didn't really.
Oh,
No, Makomo was
is that
the sister. of the two that died for the Rock. The Rock, little.
But she wasn't a demon.
Demon Slayer.
Oh, Demon Slayer. Okay. But she didn't do much either.
She didn't, but
What do you mean?
her moves.
So
Sabito and Makomo,
the
the
terrible-
two
I'm terrible at
with the
names,
masks.
Okay. All right.
So they didn't portray her too well in the show. They didn't give her a background too much, but the moves they gave her on the game gives you a good fucking idea of
I mean,
that water step she had
it's
was
a cool
fucking.
character design. I'm with you on
That little water step that she had, she was fucking.
She used the
She was
water
crazy.
style in a different, interesting way.
She was
Yeah.
she if she would have lived, she would have been way better than Giyu, I think.
A dope character, yeah. But then that was the tragedy in it that she died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
she got
But-
her arms
so-
and legs ripped off.
violently, yeah, and ate.
So if we have to go with one that lasted longer, it'd probably be Shinobu.
Okay.
Shinobu.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was just like, why you not killing? Why you letting this demon go? And then he just spanked her.
She was also the only one that didn't have the physical power to kill a demon, so she created the
no,
toxin.
her sister
Yeah.
couldn't either.
But like that
Hers
was,
was-
that
hers was-
the school.
hers was
of
poison.
their-
Yeah,
And then, or no, hers was bug, and then Shinobu's was poison.
yeah.
So
But like, still same concept.
Yeah.
Like, even the
Yeah.
sword wasn't like a slashing; it was a stabbing
Facts.
poison injection. So it was a cool concept. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that too. That she's the poison.
but you can't sleep on the arrow demon.
The
No.
arrow demon.
Just fucking
Oh,
Tanjiro all around like a
Facts.
ragdoll.
Yeah.
That man was just woo.
That was dope. 100%
Facts.
dope.
All right, you got a quote of the day,
I got a quote of the day.
and then we're gonna do a quick manga minute, and then we're gonna get to the end of the podcast.
All right.
We're gonna get there.
So this is Demon Slayer season 1, episode 16. You know, I got the specifics for you today.
Specifics.
The specifics, you know, because that's the type of timing we're on. That's the kind of people we are, you know. It's Zenitsu's grandfather. He said, "If you can only do one thing, hone it to perfection. Hone it to the utmost limit." And I, for one, felt that. Because in life, it's the same with life. If you're only good at this one thing in life, might as well become the best at that one thing and excel down that path, you know, instead of trying to be a jack of all trades and the master of none.
Okay.
Just like how he's the master of the manga minute, right?
I mean, of course. That's all there is. So, all right. So, as far as manga, I like to mix it up a little bit, and so there is one that I think especially stands out with Demon Slayer a little bit. I mean, it's already been animated.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I think it's just good to get into this manga artists' stories, the different stories they have out, the different renditions. But like, so you got the artist behind Chainsaw Man.
Okay,
And
okay.
And 100% about Chainsaw Man. Twisted, crazy, really deep stories. But he has one that he did Chainsaw Man, and then he did Fire Punch, Chainsaw Man, and then he did like 4 or 5 like these little one-shot quick mini stories. But he had one that was Goodbye Eerie.
Goodbye, Eerie.
Goodbye Eerie, and it was just wild. It's wild, and I think it goes along a lot with Demon Slayer because you get all this action, you get all this like, you know, shonen material, but then like right before they cut off the head, you can't feel good about it. You feel bad, like, oh man,
Oh,
like
damn.
you know what I mean? Like they were twisted and they have this crazy background. So with Goodbye Eerie, he has this story where it starts off with this kid who basically records everything on his phone.
Mhm.
He's doing like his own life documentary on his cell phone, and he find it like on his phone, like his mom gave him the phone. She was dying of cancer. She asked him to record the moments of her dying, excuse me. And so like he does, you know, and he makes it into something, and he like kind of like adds a weird action story ending where the hospital blows up after she dies, and he submits it to his school, video class, and everyone laughs like it's a comedy, and he's like kind of heartbroken, like my mom just died, and they're like, that's weird. Not only is it funny, it's weird. You're weird. And this girl's like, I love your art, I love who you are, let's record something even greater. And she like has this whole story about how she's dead, and it's wild, right?
She's dead?
Yeah, it ends up being such a weird twist, and you're almost, it does a little time jump, and he's an old guy, and she comes back to him, and she's like, I told you I was dead. And it's weird, but it makes you question, did he lose his mind, or did this actually happen? Is there actually like this spirit talking to him? Because then you find out that his mom was abusive, and she was horrible, and she was terrible to him, but he kind of like was like, I'm going to record this in a nice way, because his dad ends up like, why are you doing this? Why are you coming to her this way? But like, it just really, for me, reading Chainsaw Man, it's a little goofy. It's got that action, it's got that silliness, it's got that comedy. Reading Fire Punch, it's deep, it's got some goofiness, but it also has some good fights. But then like reading this kind of shows me the writer's like range, and that it's like they got some deep story writing. There's some crazy story building. They have something else about like a girl who's like a manga writer, but definitely in your spare time, a quick read. It's like one shot. It's like, I don't even know. There's a good 60 something pages, but it's really legit.
Okay.
At the end of it, you're like, oh my gosh, am I crying? This is
At first, like the way you was explaining it, it just reminded me of Another.
okay. Well, I've heard of that. I haven't seen
You
it.
never watched that?
No.
Man, if you like horror, you should watch it.
I'm into it now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you'd like that. You got any parting thoughts, D Money?
No, like always, 5 out of 5 stars for the best anime content creators around.
If you comment or tell us that we have a 5 out of 5, we will personally have D Money send you a message saying he loves you.
I mean, I could do that.
Or we can make a picture.
We'll find a way.
Out of
to
all the
be there.
Otaku Chronicles,
We can make a
fans,
picture of Reggie posing as Yamcha too, but
Right.
Yeah,
whatever you guys want.
Yamcha's body, Reggie's head.
Wolf Fang Fist.
Yeah.
They're not ready.
You got any parting thoughts?
No, I mean, if you have not seen this yet, if you're a hipster and you don't believe the hype, like, no, definitely check it out. This, for me, I will go 4.5 only because
that's
I'm
right.
upset with them for not stretching out more. I feel like they could have did a Demon Slayer Shippuden and had it where they were Hashira and they learned how to be Hashira, and there was like a whole side arc of like other demons and yada yada. He could have stretched it out more, but really he quickly just
You keep saying he. The writer was a woman.
okay. But the illustrator in the storyboard, she was told to like calm it down. But you're right. I'm being rude. It just could have been stretched out. But
It could have
it
been.
didn't need to be.
And it could have been a
was
lot
done
better
well.
longer.
But the manga, okay, it was drawn horribly. It was a rough read. It was a rough look. Like Naruto creator, on point, beauty, right? Like the fight scenes were 100% there, but like the fights in Demon Slayer were not drawn as well as it was animated, and it was a little chicken scratchy. But great. It's great and beautiful in its own personal style. But, ugh.
What would you rate it?
I would also give it a 4. Storyline was really good. Fights was really good. Animation was peak. But I also feel like if they could have also drawn it out a little longer, because it's like one of those where it's like some shows is like you'll give me like 5 seasons and it's bullshit, right? But Demon Slayer, I feel like if they did decide to do 5-6 seasons, it would be worth the watch. Every
right.
season would just get better and better,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Have 1 or 2 more people come in. He had the money.
Yeah,
She had the money. Have it be a little more pretty.
Like,
and
especially since like everybody's like, since we're in season 3 and like you've already lost like what 3 Hashiras already, so like if you was to gain like at least 1 more Hashira back or something, like
have the
introduce
kids
like
slide in that spot.
Yeah,
Have somebody be mad that they're not quite Hashira. They got to
Yeah.
be more serious. The Beast Breather, like that's not a real
they're
style.
killing they're killing upper ranks now. So like at this
Technically,
point,
none of them are real styles. They are all just variants.
no, true, but like
Well,
since they're killing upper ranks, like
sunbathing.
all the lower, they're like if they come across a low rank demon, it should just be like there's no There's
on
no
site.
discussion. Like,
All right.
yeah.
So I'd probably give it a 4.75
7.5.
Okay. We're
because
into the
everything was perfect except for the ending.
same- You didn't like how it ended?
The ending
No.
was, the time jump.
You didn't fucking finish it. So
No. You talking about the manga or you talking about the anime?
The
The
manga.
whole
Oh, okay,
story.
okay.
The
I
actual.
didn't
the
finish-
ending.
I'm not up to the manga yet.
It is stupid.
Okay. Valid.
Way
mean-
stupid. No, the way he transforms and what he transforms into to run is fucking stupid.
The concept behind it was okay.
No,
the,
it's
the
stupid.
bloodline.
This
the
man could have
whole-
transformed into anything. Anything. you gotta read it. That's the end of it. That's the go read the manga
The premise.
and you'll see what I mean. You'll give it at least a 4,
And
maybe a 4.75.
And if you can't read, there's people on YouTube who
Will
read
read
it
for you,
and illustrate it. And
Yeah, they'll show you pictures. Just look up a picture.
Definitely support your local manga artist. Buy the manga.
Support the
It's out
podcast
there,
too.
It's translated. Buy it, but if not, there's a way. Figure it out.
But yeah, it's gonna be it for the Demon Slayer episode.
Otaku Chronicles out.